Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP. Hope everybody's having a wonderful and happy holidays. Today, we're counting down the top 10 characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, what I mean by top 10 characters? But what I mean by that is the top 10 characters that are. It's a combination of a lot of things. It's are some that are important to the MC universe up until now. It is their abilities, their and by the people who play them as well. Everything goes into this when into this list. When I'm talking about the top 10 characters of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What it means to the people who watch it, what it means to the people who enjoy it, and what it means is maybe in the whole scheme of things, maybe until the entire actually movie universe itself. So we're gonna come down the top 10 characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Number 10, Vision, played by Paul Bettany, who also was the voice of Jarvis. This character is extremely important to the MCU. During first appearing in Age of Ultron, he was the first character, other than Thor, to hold the hammer. And it is extremely important because in that movie of Age of Ultron, um, Ultron was building this for him. He was building this body for him. And when Iron Man and Hulk, when they took him back and they tried to reprogram him, and then Thor came out of nowhere and woke him up, they thought that he was, originally he attacked him, but then after he calmed down and he kind of realized what it is, he became an important part of this story, of this arc in the MCU. As you can see, he has always been a major part of this, and he still is to this day, even with WandaVision. You can tell he's a very important part of this MCU up until this point in time. And when he picks up that hammer and gives it to Thor in that movie, it is extremely characteristic, because then you finally realize what that part of the beginning of the movie was, when everybody was trying to lift the hammer. So it was important because he knew that he was worthy, and if he was worthy, then you could trust him. And the faces on the looks of the people when he holds that hammer is incredible. He has always been a very important part of the MCU, and I hope we have not seen the last of Vision. It would be absolutely fantastic to have him back. Number 10, top 10 characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Vision. Number 9, Starlord, leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, played by Chris Pratt. This is a man who is very indoctrinated into the MCU. He was seemingly done as a thief in the night who stole things for money, things like that. But you can tell he is so important. How he was able to hold the Power Stone and defeat Ronan. And we find out in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that his father is Ego, the living planet. He is half celestial, half human. A very important character in the cinematic universe. Chris Pratt plays him with great timing, with great ability, and great effect. It is something so wonderful to see with Chris Pratt and Starlord. So, for me, he is eligible for a top 10 spot on this list, and it's number 9, Starlord. Number 8, Drax. Now, Drax is on this list for a totally different reasons than Vision and Starlord and pretty much everybody else on this list. Drax is on the list just because of the incredible This is the way this incredible way this character is played by Dave Bautista, former WWE superstar. It is like incredible to what Dave has done with this character. I think in the next and final Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Dave said that this is going to be his last time playing it. He is, if not 50, he's over 50. He started real late in WWE, so he is very much over that. But yeah, he is going to be an incredible actor. Any other where in other movies and other realms, but he would be known for this character, and he brings his character to life. When he is then in the first Avenger movie, not first Avenger, but the first Avengers Infinity War. Damn, I can't speak. Um, when he's in there and he's eating the chips, and he's saying that he has mastered the art of invisibility, and if he moves slowly, he can be invisible, and it's just incredible, and all the other things. And then in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he is just giving hell to that woman. Whatever, whoever it is, but it's the thing, and he's just giving her hell about how ugly she is. Like that, he's just an extremely incredible character, and it's kind of almost a total run shot from the first one. The first one, he was all about getting Thanos, for killing his family, and the turnaround that he had made from that to Avengers Infinity War, it was truly amazing. So yeah, without question, um, he deserves to be on this list. There's nothing, if for nothing else, just that scene in Avengers Infinity War when he thinks he's invisible. Number 8, Drax. Number 7, Spider-Man. You know, this is something that is, again, you know, you wonder you wondered if they could really do an MCU without Spider-Man, but thankfully Sony and Marvel, they came together, and they have had now 3 Spider-Man movies. As the date of this recording, we are several days away from Spider-Man No Way Home from premiering in theaters, and there's a third movie, and that is supposed to be the epic movie. It is, you know, uh, you know, Peter's, been found out about his identity, and Mysterio, and telling him that he's accused of killing Mysterio and everything like that. If you've seen the trailers, if you've seen them all, it's just incredible. And the rumors of Toby and Andrew Garfield being in the movies with him. And so it's just, if this was being done after I had seen it, I won't be able to see it for myriad of reasons. But if I saw this movie, he would maybe even go up even more, because it kind of shows how important he is. Because there have been talks about him and Captain Marvel and Black Panther um, before Chadwick passed away, of them being, now the main Avengers and the main parts of, the MCU, and he was a main part of it before this even started. He appeared in Captain America, Civil War, and then he had all those other movies. So just, it's incredible that here this guy is, and he's now in the movies, and it's been about 20 years of Spider-Man. It came from Tobey Maguire's 3, Andrew Garfield had 2, and now Tom Holland has 3. So incredible. And he is a totally important part of this cinematic universe that Marvel has created, without question. Number 7, Spider-Man. Number 6, Captain America, the first Avenger. Captain America, you can almost say he's the one that holds this together. He's the one that he in the first Avengers movie. He's the one that you know lets them know that what is needed to happen. He's the one that starts giving the order. He's the one that gives everybody the hope that is needed from Hawkeye and Black Widow and Hulk and Iron Man. They focus on him, and then he takes in Captain America, the Winter Soldier. He's the one that he infiltrate. He gets the Hydra out of Shield and brings down Hydra. Hydra's infiltrated Shield and has done it for the longest time. He gets that out. In the Age of Ultron, he's the one that tells Tony. He's the one that tells Tony that if we die, we'll die together. Then we also go Civil War. He's the one that he's a part of that. He's on one of the sides of not wanting to wanting to be a part of the Sokovia Accords. He doesn't think that's the right way to go about the job that they have to do protecting the world. Then Avengers as well, and then Avengers, war. So his arc throughout has been incredible, and it's been wonderful to see. And Chris Evans has played him well. And there has been news earlier this year, there was some news that Chris Evans would maybe come back and play Captain America once or twice more. As we know, in the Avengers Endgame movie, when he went back to do the and put everything back in place. When he came back, he was an older man, and apparently he had lived a life with with Peggy and everything like that. Was it Peggy? Peggy Carter? Whatever. But he did. So, but it'd be interesting to see how if they bring him back, what would it be? Would it be as like Steve Rogers? Would it be old Steve Rogers? Would it be I should say old looking Steve Rogers? Would it be just the regular Steve Rogers? Would it be some type of other scene that he would come back and do? So, but he is a integral part of the MCU. He's number 6, Captain America. Number 5, Black Panther. Also appearing in Civil War, first appearing in Civil War, because a member, Zemo, right? Zemo took down and took out his father, becoming the Black Panther. And then having his own movie. And we can't look past the fact of the cultural significance of that movie. It's the as of right now, it's the only Marvel movie to win an Oscar. They won it for design, something like that. It was nominated for Best Picture, even though it shouldn't. It wasn't even close to the Best Picture that year. It was the Avengers Infinity War, but that's another story for another day. And the feeling that a lot of black people felt that they had a superhero that they could call their own. Someone who looked like them on screen. Played by Chadwick Boseman, it was great. The movie was awesome. It was incredible. I remember going to see Black Panther. And usually when I would go see a movie, I would go on Friday. It would be a Friday matinee for me. I would go Friday, and I would go there, and then it'd be like 12 o'clock or 11:30 or something like that. I would go then. And normally the movie theater would be it would either be a sprinkling of people here and there, maybe 20 or 30. Sometimes maybe it'd be a lot. Maybe maybe you would get maybe at the most maybe half of the thing full. That one was full. It was full, and without question, there was a lot of black people there. They wanted to see Black Panther, and you can't deny that. Now several, maybe 14, 15 months ago, maybe not even close to that. I can't remember exactly when, but I believe it was last year in 2020. We lost Chadwick. We lost Chadwick Boseman, and there's been thoughts about replacing him with another person, and then there's even thoughts maybe Shuri take over, because in the comics Shuri becomes the Black Panther. Um, but man, it's gonna be hard to replace Chadwick because he did a great job. He was a fantastic actor, and he played the role so well. Integral part to, again, Avengers: Infinity War, the fight against Thanos' crew is happening in Wakanda. It's he was in from day one. They made Black Panther a massive, major character. I think from day one they realized what Black Panther would mean to people. Not only comic book characters, not only comic book readers, not only superhero movie fans, but to maybe casual fans, again, who wanted to see somebody like him on the screen be a hero and be a badass hero. And that's what it was. So without question, he's on this list. Number 5, Black Panther. Number 4, Loki. Loki is just it's I had to be honest with you. Like these final 4, any one of these final 4 could be easily made to be number 1. And one reason why Loki is could have been number 1 is because of what he was the one that made the movies go. I think the first Avengers movie is it is so epic to finish, right? It was the catalyst to what each and every movie after that would be. The catalyst, and the villain of that movie was Loki, and he was so good. He was so good. His wanting to be a king, his wanting to be something better than his brother. It is such a complex character, and it became even more complex with the Loki TV series on Disney Plus. Oh man, never feeling the feelings of love and affection for another person, true, things. There is a heart inside of that dark soul of a person called Loki. And we knew it from the first Thor movie. When he's trying to destroy the I don't know if he's trying to destroy the bridge or the movie, I forget, but when he's in there and he's talking to Thor, and you see the tears in the face, and Tom Hiddleston plays him perfectly. He plays him so great. And it's it is a character that was made for Tom, and maybe Tom was made for him, and Loki was made for the MCU. There would not be a better choice for a first villain of the Avengers than Loki. And like I said, he helped. He was a part of the catalyst that made the MCU the juggernaut that it has become. Number 4 on this list, Loki. Number 3, Thanos. So, I said Loki was the catalyst. He was the perfect villain to be the first of the Avengers, right? Well, who was the puppet? As Thor says, who's going to help the would-be king? It was Thanos. Thanos was going to be the one to give him the Chitauri army and help him rule Earth. In turn, he's going to give him the stones. He gave him the Chitauri army to take over Earth for one of the stones. Went all over looking for them. Had his men, had Ronan looking for the stone. He was a major part. He was the biggest part of this one. And I have to say this. I remember listening to the radio, and someone said that the reason why first Rocky is so good is because he loses. Rocky Balboa loses in the first Rocky. It won the Oscar for Best Picture in 78 or 79. The reason why Avengers Infinity War is so good, and it's the greatest movie of all time, is because the Avengers lose. Thanos gets all 6 stones, and he does the snap, eliminating half of all life on Earth. It's when you first watch it and you just go, no. It's you have that, you almost have this empty feeling of not being satisfied, right? Because the way it ends, it's a gut punch. You just go, no, that can't be. That's not what it's supposed to be. But when you look back at it and you realize what went down, you realize that the MCU did the right thing by making that happen. Because it was supposed to be, originally said it was Avengers Part 1, it was Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and Avengers Infinity War Part 2. And we went from that, it went from Avengers Infinity War to Avengers Endgame. And even in Endgame, when they're doing all this stuff to try to redo what happened, and to try to finally stop Thanos, it's an amazing piece. As they would say in the wrestling business, it's a amazing piece of business they did with that. And Thanos was it was incredible. Played by Josh Brolin, was not only it was very interesting. He was not only Thanos, but then he was in Deadpool as Cable, so Deadpool 2. So it's man, he played that so good. He should have been nominated for Best Actor that year as well. I mean, he was incredible as Thanos, and it's a shame the movie industry, the Oscars don't look as well on superhero movies as they should, because there was than no one better than Josh Brolin as an actor that year. And Thanos was incredible. Just incredible. That's why he's number 3 of the top 10 characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Number 2, Thor. Thor's arc is so good. In the first movie, where you can tell he is an entitled, a narcissistic, whatever you want to call him, right? The guy who wants to be king, everything like that, and his coordination is ruined by the Frost Giants, but as we find out, it's ruined actually by his brother Loki. He is then, convinced to go to wherever that place is, the land of the Frost Giants, and and break the peace treaty that they had, and everything like that, ousted into Midgard, where he cannot pick up and hold the hammer until he is deemed worthy to, and everything like that. It's so good, and Thor to the Dark World. Which at the first, which when I first watched it, I thought this really isn't all of that. But on subsequent watches of it, you realize this is a fantastic, good movie. And again, we're starting to talk about the Infinity Stones and everything like that. And the Infinity Stone, it's in Jane and everything like that. And Thor's mother passes away. And then they have the Viking send off for Thor's mother, and he has to team up with Loki and everything like that. And Ragnarok was it was an okay movie. I didn't like the fact that he cut his hair and everything like that. But okay, whatever, it happened, right? And then like his parts, he's the big part of the first Avengers, and then after Thor 2, he stays on Earth and he helps the Avengers, and and he's a big part of that. Part of that one is that they are trying to find the Mind Stone, right? They're trying to find the Mind Stone, and they do, and then of course Ultron happens, and Ultron takes it away. The Mind Stone is injected or is implanted into Vision to help him become alive. And then so Thor says he keeps the Mind Stones, and then at the end of the movie he talks about these stones, Infinity Stones, have been showing up the last couple of years, and he's gonna go and find out about them and everything like that. And then of course we know what happens. At the end of Ragnarok, his ship is attacked by Thor. Because there goes not Thor, by Thanos, because he's trying to get to Loki to get the stone from the Tesseract, and it's incredible. And then you have that arc from the Avengers Infinity War, where he goes, the stone, not the stone, but the hammer. No, the hammer. He doesn't have the hammer because his sister broke it. In Ragnarok. So now he's gonna build another. He's building another one. He's building Stonebreaker basically, and he gets that one, and he has a chance to kill Thanos, and Thanos has that thing at the end after he snaps it. Before he snaps, he says you should have gone for the head. And then, of course, in the Avengers Endgame, he immediately goes for the head. And then the character work in the Endgame, which I kind of didn't like the fact that they made him fat and everything like that. They didn't need to do that. But you could have made him depressed and down about it. I like that part of it. And then when he goes back in time to try to get to get the other hammer and the stone, and it's incredible. So, played by Chris Hemsworth. There's no one else who could have done that. No one else. I am certain, other than number one, there could have been other people who could have played other characters. But Chris Hemsworth was perfect for Thor. He's number 2 on the top 10 characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And of course, number 1 is the man who started it all, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. There would be no MCU without it. If Iron Man did not work, I don't think there would be the MCU the way it is today. Kevin Feige said it started that he wanted to do something like this. He wanted to create a universe. He had to pick the right character and the right actor to play the character. He chose Iron Man, and he chose Robert Downey Jr. And boy, was that one hell of a choice. Robert Downey Jr. has made Iron Man something that he was not before. I don't think people who like superheroes, like comic books or anything like that, or maybe we're big time fans of Iron Man. Hell, I know I wasn't. I don't even think, I remember watching the commercials for Iron Man thinking, really? I knew it was a superhero movie, but I had no interest. And to be honest with you, when it comes down to to the whole Marvel, I knew about Spider-Man, I knew about the Hulk, I knew about Captain America, right? Um, but I knew about the X-Men because of video games and the '90s cartoon and things like that. But I didn't know lot of other things about these characters, about Thor and about Iron Man or Black Panther or Starlord or anything like the villains, Thanos and Drax and anything like that. No, not Drax isn't a villain, but Thanos and Loki. I didn't know about these guys. But it all started with Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. And that first Iron Man was incredible. I didn't watch it in theaters, but when I was going to go see the Avengers, and Epix the cable network decided to run, before the Avengers, a week or two before the Avengers movie was coming out in theaters, they decided to run like the final movies. They ran Iron Man 2, they ran Thor, and they ran Captain America, the first Avenger. And watching all those movies were just incredible. But I didn't know Iron Man 2. Then I had to see Iron Man 1. So I went back and watched Iron Man 1. And boy, that's a lot. That's a ride, baby. That is something special. And you see the changes in Iron Man throughout the years. How he went from that, you know, war, I guess maybe you call it warmonger, um, you know, you know, nothing wanting nothing more but to be rich and to, you know, sleep with women and everything like that. To go to where he went to so far enough, and we saw a little bit of it in the first Avengers when when him and Captain America were going back at it, and he was talking about, you're not the one to jump on the wire, and I'm gonna say I'd rather be the one to cut the wire, and then later on in that movie he takes the missile, the bomb, and he goes into space and he drops it, and he risks his life for that. And then what happens in Endgame? Knowing that there is only one chance out of the hundreds of millions of things that Dr. Strange saw. There's only one chance to get it right. And he knew what he had to do. He got those. He got those stones from Thanos, and he snapped. Now I really wish they would have put the scene that was, because they did a scene just like it in, like you remember in Avengers Infinity War when Thanos snaps, they go to like a dream scene where he's talking to little Gamora, and so there's a scene that they did that was going to be for Tony, where he snaps and he goes in there, and in that thing he meets the adult version of his daughter Morgan. And I wish they would have kept. There's a lot of things I wish they would have kept in Endgame. I wish they would have kept that. I wish they would have kept the scene in which they honored him. Because when Tony passes away, it kind of just goes on, and it kind of goes on, and it goes on to the next scene where he's talking, and and they're at his funeral. But there was a scene that when he passes away, everybody starts to get on the one knee to honor the fallen soldier. Everybody gets on one knee to honor him. And I wish they would have kept that in too, because it was deserved. It was deserved. Iron Man, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. made the MCU. And to me, without question, that is a point blank period in the discussion. And there's a no downer who is the #1 character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Alright, so there you have it, my top 10 characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know who you guys think are the top 10 characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do you agree with my list? Do you don't? Am I missing somebody? There's so many characters you could have chosen. You could have chose Nick Fury, right? Nick Fury, you know, he was a part of that, you know, first Iron Man movie at the end. You know, could you have said, um, you know, um, there's so many other ones too. You know, could you have put in a Black Widow? She a major part of it. You know, could you have Doctor Strange? He's going to be a big part of it. Could you have put in Captain Marvel? Maybe it's so many people to talk about. Another villain could have been in there. Do you think? You know? So it's so many things, so many ways to think about it, about who could have been in on this list. But these are my 10, and I think these are the right 10. If I don't say so myself. So yeah, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so that anytime during this holiday season I go live or I play the video, you will get a notification so that you can come directly to it and watch it. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And once again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, and all that jazz.